Hi, let me introduce you to my Onkyo Integra CP1055F fully automatic quartz lock direct drive turntable. At least that's how it started out. A couple years ago it went on strike and decided to become a fully manual turntable. All the tone arm functions were gone. Took me up until now to quit procrastinating and see if I could do something about it. Well, I was successful. Let me show you how it works. Turn it on here. So we've got the play reject button here. That's going to get it started. This turntable has a really nice feature. It's called a search feature. So if I lift the cueing lever up with this button here, now instead of having to move the tone arm by hand, I can push this search button and it will move the tone arm to where I want it. Every time I push that button, the tone arm will go the opposite direction. Let's get it back over here and I'll put it back down here. And then of course it's going to return to rest. I looked a lot for help to try to figure out what I needed to do to get this thing working again, and I didn't really find that much useful. But I found that especially with things that are reasonably well built to begin with, and I think this is, a lot of times it's just some cleaning and lubrication will do the trick. That was part of the problem here. But hold on for a minute here and I'll go to the next part where I show you what's under the hood. This is what you see when you open up the bottom of the turntable. There are about 5 screws and there are 4 feet which also have to be removed before the bottom panel. Okay, so this is the tone arm mechanism. The drivetrain starts here with the motor, drives a worm gear which drives these pinion gears. The cam that you see here is the cueing, which raises and lowers the tone arm. This idler moves the tone arm in its automatic motion. There's an optical sensor here, and these blocking panels let the processor know where the position of the tone arm is. This solenoid allows the motor to either run the tone arm, so as the solenoid retracts, the drum engages with the idler. When it's not retracted, these gears drive the cam, and on the bottom of the cam there's a plunger underneath, you can't see it, that raises and lowers the tone arm for the cueing. When I first opened this up, I noticed that this lever, which chooses between the cam and cueing device in this position, or the tone arm motion in this position, was very sticky. And this pivot here is what was at fault. It was all gummed up. This is 30 35 to 40-year-old turntable. I can't remember exactly when I got it. I'm the original owner. And it's not surprising that after all these years, things get pretty gummy. So I disassembled it, and I cleaned all the pivot points, and cleaned all the gears and relubricated them. And I noticed a piece of plastic fell out, and that piece of plastic, I don't know if you can see it here, I'll see if I can get closer, was basically here. This is the cam follower, which operates this micro switch. And this micro switch, I'm assuming, tells the processor whether the tone arm is in the up position or the down position, according to the position of this cam. And there's a plastic piece, there's a bimetal switch here. There's two, well, I don't know if you call it a bimetal switch, but it's just two pieces of metal with contactor. And this piece of plastic had broken off. So the cam follower, which is what the piece of plastic is, was not engaging on the cam. So the right way to fix it, of course, would be to buy a new switch, but being that this is a pretty old piece of equipment, I had my doubts that I could find that switch. So what I did is I used some JB Weld epoxy to glue that cam follower back onto the metal strip on the switch. And fortunately enough, I got it in the right position so that after I put it all back together, it works. So it turned out that the problems were that broken switch and the gummed up lubrication. I also scuffed up the rubber on the idler. This is rubber here, and the brass on the drum, which drives the idler. I scuffed it up with sandpaper to make sure that there was enough friction to drive the idler. Once again, the proper thing to do would probably be to replace the idler at this age, but once again, probably not available. So I scuffed it up. I used some pin shoulder cleaner that I had laying around to clean the rubber. I put it all back together, and it works. So I hope this helps you out, and that you can get your Onkyo CP-1055 fully automatic quartz drive turntable working again. Thanks for watching.